Let's scooch this mic a bit. Okie dokie, guys. This was a rough night. Yeah, but I'm here, so that's awesome. We had an interesting afternoon. My husband had a doctor appointment today, and we get out to Burleson at the hospital where his appointment was, and all the electricity went off completely. So all their computers were down, slowed up the whole process. We had to wait and wait and wait. Computers never came back up. So we took some blood and did some other stuff and got out of there, and then we ended up in a really bad accident traffic. It took us nearly 2 hours to get home, so that was super fun. But I can tell I'm growing as an individual because used to that would have sent me over the edge, and I would have been making myself sick knowing that I was running so late getting yoga. Now it's like, I mean, I feel a little anxious, but I don't feel that just so sick feeling of like, my gosh, you know, it's like you just surrender knowing there's nothing you can do and you just go with it. So that's what I did. Anyways, thanks for your patience, and I'm here with you. And it's funny because even tonight, what I was wanting to talk to you guys about is, expecting the unexpected and recognizing that when we want change, when we're not content with the old patterns of behavior and staying stuck kind of things, not just staying stuck, but being in those comfort zones where there's not a lot of growth happening, and we want the change. We say we want the change. We want things to be different. We have desires of our heart that don't look the way that the desires do look compared to what the old patterns of behavior look like. There's a difference in those things, and for us to achieve the new space, change must occur. And so for change to occur, we really have to surrender to whatever that looks like. And a lot of times it's not going to look the way that we think it's going to look or that we want it to look. Things are going to happen the way that they're going to. And I have a friend who has a really interesting perspective on this, and she was talking about, she used to say that she hated surprises. She did not like surprises. She didn't want to be surprised. She wanted, to be able to have an expectation for what she was going to experience and all of these kinds of things. And, I thought, wow, that's interesting. Now she goes around saying, I love surprises. I love newness, like I love the change that comes from being surprised. I love new experiences. I love, stepping into new territory, all of this kind of stuff. And I thought, man, that's a really great practice because it kind of sinks us into that knowledge of things have to change for me to have the experiences I want to have. And if things have to change, then I'm going to encounter surprises. There's going to be things that are going to happen that are going to totally take me off guard, and I have to learn to just roll with it. And recognizing there's always something in there for us. I mean, even tonight, it's like if we had left earlier, if the electricity hadn't gone off and, we had been able to leave when we were supposed to leave, maybe we would have ended up in that accident, like I think about things like that now of like the universe is protecting me from experiencing other things that could potentially be far worse or far more challenging. So I will take, the delayed trip as opposed to an accident. And just remembering like everything, life happens. Things happen and we just have to learn to roll with it. It's like the more we can just learn to roll with the natural flow of the universe and the natural flow of our life, the better. And if I say I want all this certain kind of stuff, this quality of energy to come into my life experience, then I got to be ready for all of the newness and all of the change. I got to embrace the surprises, embrace that, things aren't going to always look the way that I expect them to. Newness is a part of the inevitable of stepping into a different kind of energetic space. So tonight, while we're in our practice and moving through these postures, just thinking about opening up to the newness, opening up to possibility, opening up ourselves for embracing surprises, embracing the experiences that life has to offer us that are in alignment with our highest and greatest good. And whatever that looks like, the soul space knows better than we do, in our mind. And so giving our higher self permission to draw those experiences into our life so that we can really grow and expand fully and completely. And, even really good new space can feel really scary at first, even when it's really good for us, even when it's meant for our highest and greatest good. When we first start doing it, because it's different than what we're used to doing, it can feel really awkward and uncomfortable. So really learning to embrace that, learning to embrace all of the newness, all of that stuff, and just thinking about those areas where you kind of note that you resist it, the newness. What is the stuff, like if it starts to feel scary and if it starts to feel a little overwhelming and all of that stuff, do you find yourself contracting away from it, or do you lean into it? And I had an interesting conversation with somebody the other day about, when do we know when it's right to lean in? We know it's right to lean in when the heart tells us that it's what is meant for us and our experience is actually lining up with it. The experiences are coming in, right? So then we just lean into it, because the universe is drawing the energy into our experience because we're being the magnet for that vibrational frequency. So when it's in the heart and we feel the desire and the opportunities are coming, the real life manifestation opportunities and experiences are coming into our experience, that's when we lean in. That's when we say yes. That's when we recognize this fear is temporary. This is just a part of my old conditioning that, likes to be kind of cozy in its little quote unquote safe space over here. And if I want the stuff that I say I want, I gotta lean in. I gotta go with this. I gotta say yes to the opportunities that are presenting themselves to me. So that's a really good key kind of thing to remember right now too. Where am I leaning in? Where am I contracting away? Where do I want to lean in more? What's the stuff that I really want to overcome right now so that I can fully step into this next new space? So let's get started by coming into our easy seat and coming long through the spine. Dropping the shoulders back and down. Just collecting yourself, collecting your being. Becoming aware of the physical body. Becoming aware of your own consciousness. An internal awareness. And we're going to find that Ujjayi breath by placing the tongue in the roof of the mouth just behind the front teeth, creating some space in the back of the throat, allowing for that audible breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Nice deep breaths using that belly to facilitate the inhalation and exhalation. Allowing that breath to sound like the waves of the ocean. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, dropping the chin to the chest. And beginning to take those gentle neck circles. Whichever direction feels best to you tonight. Moving nice and slow, not forcing or pressing. Never pushing ourselves into those points of pain or discomfort, tingling, numbness. Pausing and breathing into any of those areas that need that extra love. And drawing the rotation to the opposite side when you find your chin to the chest. One more time, and then the next time you find the chin to the chest, inhale, take the gaze back towards the front of the room. We're going to take that rotation down into the heart space. So inhale, press the heart space past the biceps, and draw that rotation in the same direction as you begin those gentle neck circles. Using that rib cage, those points of the rib cage, to draw a circle around the sits bones. So keeping those sits bones nice and grounded and connected and rooted into the earth, and using that rib cage to slide around in a circular motion. Remembering, like, even when we're stressed out like I was tonight, when things feel out of our control, especially when they are, we sink back into our inner being, we sink back into ourselves. And we just surrender to what is. One more time, and then shifting that rotation in the opposite direction. Come back into your neutral, easy seat. Inhale deeply, hinge forward from those hips on the exhalation, and begin that rotation. Taking that Sufi grind. Matching the breath with the movement, inhaling from the front to the back and exhaling from the back to the front. Take that rotation in the opposite direction next time you find yourself towards the front. And then come back into that comfortable, easy seated posture. Take those hands to gently frame those hips just outside hips. We're going to twist to the left side, take that left hand behind the left glute, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee, and gazing over the left shoulder if it feels safe on the neck. And just breathing into that posture. This is where we let go of all the stress, all of that stuff that's out of our control, all of those things that we can't affect no matter how hard we try. Just wringing them out of our system with that twisting motion and allowing them to fall into the earth beneath us so that Mother Earth can transmute them and shift them into those new, more life-affirming energies. Letting go of all of the stuff that's out of our control. Untwisting the spine nice and slow. Take those hands back outside of those hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Take that twist to the opposite side on the next inhalation. Right hand comes behind the right glute. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee and then gazing over the shoulder. Untwisting the spine. Hands come back outside of those hips. Inhaling and drawing those arms overhead nice and slow and gentle. Pressing your aura the entire way up. Reach through those fingertips and exhale nice and slow, grounding your energy all the way back down to the earth. Remembering those tools that we have in our toolbox when that aura feels out of whack and fussy because of any of those stressful experiences that we may have, like I was having tonight. Then we just smooth everything out, ground our energy. 2 more times. Inhale up, reach those fingertips into the sky, but take those arms up nice and slow. No rush. Reach through the body. Reach through those fingertips as if you're reaching for the moon itself. Turn those hands away from each other. Ground the energy. Use your power of your own being to nurture and support yourself. 1 more time. Inhale up. And exhale. Turn the hands away from each other and releasing those hands into the mat. Coming up into our tabletop position, stacking the shoulders on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. We're going to shift our hips to the left side, gazing over our right shoulder towards the heels. Exhale, come back, and then inhale, shift the hips to the right side, gazing over the left shoulder towards those heels. Exhale back, and then just continuing on at your own pace. One more time on each side. And then coming back into your tabletop position. We're going to inhale, lift up through the right leg. Take that knee into alignment with the hip. Exhale, release it back down into the earth. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And just continue on. Lifting up through that knee. As fast or as slow as feels comfortable to you. Matching the breath with the movement. Exhale, take that knee back down into the earth. We're going to take it to the opposite side. Inhale up through the left leg. Exhale, take it down. Exhale, release that knee back down into the earth. We're going to stretch those arms out long in front of us as we keep those knees grounded into the mat. Tops of the feet are gently resting into the earth, and release the heart space down. Relaxing the forehead into the mat. Take those deep breaths. Inhale, rise up. And walk those hands back underneath those shoulder blades. We're going to come into our cat-cow stretches. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze and the tailbone. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, rounding through the spine, taking the chin to the chest. And just continuing on, continuing with those cat-cow stretches. And warming up that spine. Moving that spinal fluid. Inhale back into that tabletop position, curling the toes under, pressing the hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Pressing that belly towards the thighs, gaze is between those calves. Take a couple deep breaths as you release those heels a little bit closer to the earth. Taking the gaze towards the hands, step or float towards the top of the mat. And then hanging in your forward fold. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Keeping those hands grounded into your mat, or taking those pinkies into opposite elbows. Fully release the crown to the earth. Taking your gentle movement, remaining in stillness. This is where that practice of self-awareness begins, listening to our own intuition. What does my body need on my mat tonight? What movements could I take to enhance my practice? What is my body and soul saying to me about what kind of movement I need to take? Really hang in this forward fold, releasing all of that pressure in the spine, opening up through each and every vertebra, allowing that spinal column to get much space. And release all of that compression. Then really, really nice and slow, release those hands down into the mat. We're going to draw the fingers towards the feet, dragging them up the tops of the feet on the inhalation, rolling up through the spine. Take the fingertips up the shin bones, the knees, the thighs, the sides of the body, the sides of the chest, all the way up into the air. Exhale, dive forward. We're going to do 2 more of these. Inhale up, draw those fingertips up the tops of the feet, ankles, the shins, the knees, thighs, sides of the torso, all the way up into the sky. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale up. Exhale, diving forward. This time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands into the earth. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rise up. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Inhale, arms rise up. And exhale, diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, release those hands into the mat, rising up. Exhale, cactus it out. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Release those fingertips into the earth. Come high on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees and curl into a seed or ball here. We're high on the toes. We're going to tuck the chin to the chest, forehead to the knees. In this seed posture, planting your seeds of intention for the rest of this new year that's coming. What is your intention for this new year? What is the theme that you would like your energy to revolve around? What reality would you like to manifest? Staying high in the toes. Inhale and draw those hips into the sky. Exhale, release the heels into the earth. Rise up. Nice and slow. Take those arms into the sky. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, draw the fingers up. Exhaling and diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, drop the fingertips into the earth. Come up high on the toes. And exhale, curl into your seed. Drop the glutes towards the heels. Chin comes to the chest, forehead to the knees. Planting those seeds deep into the heart space, into your own soul, where they can be nurtured and sustained. Allow the emotion of that word, that singular word that you've chosen, that theme for your new year, to really sink into your being. Feel into the quality, the energy of that word. Remaining high on the toes. Inhale, pressing the hips into the sky. Exhale, drop the heels into the mat. Rise up. Exhale, cactus. We're going to move straight into our sun salutations. We're going to take 5 sun salutations. Inhale, arms come into the sky. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands into your earth. Step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Stepping or floating towards the top of the mat. Beginning again. Inhaling up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, hinge forward from those hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, planting those hands into the mat. Step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Take it to the top. And take 3 more of these sun salutations at your own pace. Whenever you're done meeting in that standing mountain or Tadasana posture, take a moment to collect yourself, collect your energy, close the eyes, draw the attention to the brow point center, allowing those salutations to ignite that internal fire that allows that intuition to roar. Slowly and gently open those eyes whenever you're ready. We're going to come into our crow posture tonight. So like we were talking about earlier, stepping into all possibilities, opening ourselves up for change, all of the surprises that come with life, not limiting ourselves because we're afraid of new experiences. We're afraid of how something new feels initially and the discomfort that can come from that space. We're going to open ourselves up to those new experiences, open ourselves up to new energetic vibrations. And the crow posture is really amazing because it's one of those first balancing postures that we can come into that makes us feel a whole lot of success and a whole lot of ability to do things that we never knew possible before. And that's really what we want to do. We want to tap into our own strength. We want to practice those postures that challenge us, because this is where we can learn to come into those uncomfortable experiences and feel that amazing success when we come into the posture. And now this is to say that just because this posture is easy for some people doesn't mean it's easy for everybody. Some of us are going to find challenge within the crow posture, and it may take a very long time. Sometimes there's postures that other people get right away. And for me, it's taken years to finally be able to come into those postures. So there's no rush. We're meeting ourselves exactly where we are on our mat tonight. If you have a block or a prop and you want to use that as your perch, please feel free to do so. And so we're going to just take a few minutes to play with this posture. No pressure. We're not having that expectation of we have to be at a certain point. Meet yourself where you're at right now tonight, in this time, in this space. So if you need your perch, go ahead and grab it. And I'm going to grab something that I can use. I did not have my box ready. Let me put this down. My blocks, I didn't have them in here. I'm going to protect my good mat. Okay, so we're going to put our perch down. So if you need that block, you put the block down, long ways on your mat. Place those hands on the mat just in front of that block, and you're going to come up on that block with your toes hanging over the edge. So your toes are going to hang just over the edge of your block here. And really nice and slow at your own pace, planting those hands into the earth, you can kind of tent your palm. So you're creating space in your palm. You're balancing into the pressure of all of your fingertips, and you're tenting those fingers up. And then the base of your palm is also fully pressed into your mat. And the very middle part of your palm can be raised. And then we're going to take our knees to the outside of the biceps. You're going to lean forward, and you can come up just one toe, 1 foot, and lift those toes into the air. Or if you start to feel really safe and comfortable, and you've got those knees squeezed around the outside of the biceps, we're not balancing our knees on the back of the biceps. That's going to create a lot of uncomfortable pressure on the back of that bicep. We're actually squeezing the knees around the bicep. And then you take those feet slowly and gently up away from the earth, or up away from your block. Nice and slow. So just listen to your body. If you need that block, use it. If you don't, you can remove it and just go at it on your own. Planting those hands into the earth, bend the knees, squeeze the knees around the biceps. And if you fall forward, you fall forward. We always want to work to protect the neck, but just very gently allow yourself to fall into the mat if you need to. Take a couple more moments playing with this posture. Sometimes it's easier if you don't have sleeves so that your pants aren't sliding down the outsides. One more time. And just release yourself down whenever you're through. I'm going to move this out of the way really quick. And so just staying high on those toes. We're going to keep those knees out now, outside of those hands. We're just gently resting those fingertips into the earth. Take a couple deep breaths. Inhale, really nice and slow if it feels safe. You can rise up, take those thumbs into heart center. Or you can drop those hands down in front of those knees in Gyan Mudra. And just take those deep breaths. If you need to keep your eyes open, then do so. If you want to close them, you can. Exhale, release those fingertips into the earth. Inhale, press those hips up into the sky. Walk those feet out more than hips width distance apart. Inhale, roll up through your spine. Arms come overhead. Exhale. Thumbs drop into your heart center. And bending through those knees, toes are out at a 45-degree angle. Rooting that tailbone towards the earth, ensuring that that pelvis is tucked underneath you. And take a few deep breaths. And then dropping those hands in front of your belly, right in front of that navel point center. We're going to imagine a beautiful golden light. That light that is your own being, the way that you perceive yourself, your personal power. We're going to shift our weight to the right side as we draw that ball of light up. Lengthen through that right leg as you take it all the way into the sky. Exhale, we're going to take it down and bend through the left knee. We're going to take a couple more rotations, inhaling up and exhaling down. Visualizing that beautiful golden ball of light getting stronger, brighter with every rotation. Next time you find that ball towards the front, take it to the opposite side. Inhale up, exhale down. It's only getting stronger, brighter. You can really feel the energy, the vibration of that energy between those hands. One more time. Drop that energy back in front of your belly. Place it into that navel point center. Left hand on bottom, right hand on top. Close the eyes and take a couple deep breaths, feeling that energy back into your own being, radiating from within. Inhale, lengthen through those legs. Walk those feet back towards each other. About hips width distance apart. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hinging forward from those hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release those hands into the earth. Come down into your downward facing dog. Beginning on the right side, inhale, lift up through that leg. Exhale, pull it all the way through. Releasing the left leg down into the earth. Shin bone comes into the mat, top of the foot resting. Take your right hand inside of the arch of the right foot and work that foot towards the upper right hand corner of your mat. You can come up on the nice edge of that foot and open up through that hip. Coming down onto the forearms if it feels safe. You can lift that left leg, lengthen through it, remove the knee from the mat. Coming into that comfortable expression of your lizard's pose. And just close your eyes and open up through the body. Releasing any resistance, any tension, discomfort. That resistance of moving forward, of having the new experiences. This is where we tap into the magic, the power of our being, that crow energy. I am strong, I'm powerful, I'm wise, I'm full of magic. And the universe is here to meet me with an equal quality of energy to all of those things. I know myself, I speak my truth, and I follow my dreams. Take a couple more deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really let go of all of that resistance, of moving forward, of experiencing the new. Accepting your evolution, your responsibility to move forward, to grow, to expand. And then pressing into the palms of the hands, coming out of our posture nice and slow, lengthen through the spine. Come down into the sole of the foot so that it's gently resting into the mat. Inhale, lengthen through that left leg. Press those hips into the sky and draw that right leg back to meet the left and pedal it out. And then we're going to take it to the opposite side. Inhale, lift up through the left leg. Exhale, pull it all the way through. Come down onto the right knee. Unroll the toes. Take that left hand inside the arch of the left foot. Walk to the corner of the mat. Coming up on the knife's edge of the foot if you did on the opposite side. Do the same thing on this one. Otherwise, keeping the sole of the foot grounded into your mat. Come down onto the forearms if that's in your practice. Come into the same expression of this posture on the left side as you did on the right. Close the eyes. Take your attention back inside. Resisting the urge to leave posture sooner than you need to. Again, never pressing into pain or tingling or numbness, but just not leaving a posture too soon because it feels a little uncomfortable. This is where we lean in. Sustain it for just a little bit longer. Really nice and slow, coming up onto the palms of the hands, lengthening through the arms and the spine. Curl the right toes under, press the hips up into the sky so that you can take that left foot back to meet the right and pedal out those legs. Come down onto those knees and release the belly all the way down into the earth. We're going to come into that Sphinx posture. So those elbows are going to come underneath the shoulders. Palms of the hands are going to be flat into the earth. Just like so. Gazing towards the front of the room. Taking those deep breaths. Engaging in that flexibility of the spine. All of our mobility stems from that place. Exhale, release the chest down into the earth and take one cheek and gently rest it into your mat. Take those hands into alignment with the chest. Fingertips are in alignment with the nipples. Keep those elbows in tight towards the body. Inhale, lift up into your cobra posture. Pressing into the palms of the hands, you can keep a gentle bend through the elbows. Toes are to touch, and gaze is forward. Exhale, release the belly, release the hips, resting one cheek into the mat. Take those arms back. Find your breath. We're going to take those hands into the corners of your mat. Fingertips are going to point towards those corners. We're going to inhale, lift to the elbows up away from the earth. Gazing towards the front of the room, those hip points should just be lifted up away from the mat. Take those deep breaths for the seal posture. Never pressing into pain. Visualizing yourself in the posture if it feels too compromising on the spine. Exhale, releasing the belly into the earth. Take the opposite cheek into the mat. Take a couple deep breaths. Then pressing into the palms of the hands, coming up through your tabletop position. Walk the knees towards the hands, releasing the glutes into the earth, lengthening those legs in front of us. We're going to come into that counter stretch. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Release those hands down onto those shins towards the ankles and feet. At whatever point they might fall, gaze is forward. Rounding through the spine. Feeling that nice deep counter stretch. And then inhale, nice and slow, rising up, drawing the palms of the hands back towards the hip crease. Bend those knees, soles of the feet come into the earth, releasing that upper spine into your mat, vertebra by vertebra, nice and slow. Inhale, take the knees into the chest. Holding on to just the right leg. Inhale, lift the left leg into the sky. Exhale, release it into the mat. Reaching out through the right arm. Take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Pull it across the body. Gazing over the right fingertips if it feels safe on your neck. Untwisting that spine nice and slow. Take the knees back into the chest on your next inhalation. Take some gentle movement. And then holding on to just the left leg. Inhale, come up through the right. Exhale, take it nice and slow down into the mat. Reaching out to the left arm. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg to pull it across, keeping those shoulders grounded into the earth. Gazing over the left fingertips if it feels safe on your neck. Untwisting the spine. Take the knees into your chest. Grabbing onto the outside edge of those feet, finding your happy baby posture. Taking some gentle movement by rocking side to side or back and forth, lengthening through one leg and then the other, or remaining in stillness. Releasing those legs whenever you're ready and finding your final Shavasana posture. Long through the spine, arms frame the body. Palms of the hands face up to receive, face down to ground. And finding your breath. Even when things feel out of control, even when things are unexpected, when they feel scary, when we're in these new experiences and changes occurring, we can always come back to ourselves, back to that 0 point, the inner stillness, to find the peace that we need, to allow us to push forward, to lean in. One of my mantras last year was not I love the surprises, just like my friend said. I love surprises. That's her new mantra. My mantra was take chances and have fun. Take chances, have fun, be playful with my life experience. Don't put so much weight into things that don't necessarily need it. Take a chance. Take a calculated risk. Have fun. Bring some levity into it. Not taking things so seriously. Just relaxing into our experience. And as we're finishing up this year, remembering we have less than or just about a week left here now. Take this time to ask yourself, how has this year changed my life? And like we talked about earlier, what are my intentions for this new year? Ready yourself for this new year by reflecting on this year that we've already experienced, that we've just had, and preparing yourself for the new energy that's coming in. And as we're preparing ourselves for the new energy that's coming in, get excited about all the possibilities. I love new experiences. I love surprises. Take chances, have fun. Embrace the uncertainty. Allow it to lead you places. Be brave. As you create your own path. Enjoy the present. Step into your power. Step into that crow energy. I know myself. I know myself. I speak my truth. I follow my dreams. Your greatest need is to clean out the enormous mass of mental and emotional rubbish that clutters your mind. You need to learn how to select your thoughts the same way you select your clothes every day. This is a power you can cultivate. If you want to have more control over your life experience, work on controlling your mind. In most cases, that's the only thing that you can control at all. You become a true master of your life when you learn how to master your focus. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, something grows. Slowly and gently drawing your awareness back into your physical being by wiggling your fingers and toes, wrapping the hands around the wrists, the feet around the ankles, taking your gentle stretches. Draw the knees into the chest and rock and roll up that spine several times until you allow yourself to come into a comfortable seated posture. Drawing the thumbs into the heart space, anchoring the energy of your practice into your heart. All of your intentions for the new year. all of your awareness of how this last year served you, the ways that you grew, the ways that you changed, the doors of possibility that it opened. Take those deep breaths as we finish our practice tonight with 3 long Sat Nams. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Namaste. The divinity in me honors the divinity that exists within each and every one of you. That beautiful radiant light that expresses itself in so many different directions, felt across the entire universe. I'm really grateful for you joining me here tonight. Thank you so much for your patience in us getting started with this live class. I'm so glad I was able to join you guys safely. And just remembering as we step away from this class experience to surrender to what is, to release the anxiety and frustration over the things that we cannot control, place our attention on the things that we can create more of a positive experience. If we want to control something, control the mind, control the way the mind perceives the situation, control the way that you are allowing the thoughts to engage, with your inner being. Cease to feed the energies that you don't want to experience more of. Step into your power, step into your bravery. Say yes to the change in all of the ways that it manifests, and not stepping into or contracting away from your life experience in fear. Set your intention for this new year. Be thinking about what does that look like for you. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys again later. Have a great night.